Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Land Timber Stream. It's Wednesday night. We're going to talk some spanning tree features, some eigrp topology stuff, and just in general how I'm doing on my journey towards the CCIE written exam. I have 12 days to go. So let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, this wallpaper of the day is from NASA Image of the Day, and it is an impact crater, or an impact on Mars that was captured by the Mars orbiter, and this is some sort of slope trail. Actually, if I remove myself, you can see the whole thing, but really cool image I thought that they had on there. But anyway, we got the chat up, we got stream is up, confirming that now, and everything's looking good. So thank you very much for joining tonight. 12 days, like I said. I'm preparing for battle. As a matter of fact, I've had several discussions about this already on the stream, and I think I've decided as of today that I'm definitely going to do this in 12 days. Unless something major comes up, or, you know, I hit a meltdown or something and I have to reschedule it. I think I'm going to go with the January 23rd date. And part of that was just overall my feeling of what I need to do to pass and how I need to keep my momentum going. All the time I spent up last number of months, if I let a lot of time go, I'm going to lose some of that momentum, have to refresh my memory on some of those things that I've committed to memory. So I think I'm going to keep going. And plus today, just trying to rearrange a Friday and a Monday that spans two sort of on-call weeks. And that's not easy to do in my particular team for network operations. We don't have a large pool of people to trade on call with, and it's summertime, people are traveling, so just for practical reasons it's going to be impractical for me to try to reschedule. I was able to just today finalize scheduling those days off. Like I have the Friday and the Monday off. Monday is exam day, so not a small feat. So to do all that and to not take the exam seems like it's a waste of effort. So we're going at it. I'm preparing for battle. I'm in that mindset now. It's going to happen. And I am going to give my all these last 12 days. So written progress, what I've been working on, Loopguard compatibility. So this is a spanning tree feature, and there's a really good link down here if you want to review that. Let me put these links in the chat here. A couple of links. So this link is really good. It's a good explainer on Loopguard and what features it is or is not compatible with. As a matter of fact, there's a chart here. Well, there's not a chart for that. It explains this particular article. It's a troubleshooting tech note. It's rather good, though, and it explains somewhat in brief the differences between CatOS and Cisco iOS, but it has all the features down here. It also discusses BPD skew detection, and it talks about the interoperability with other spanning tree features. So I thought that was important enough to put in the drill sheet. So I've listed those here, and essentially Loopguard compatibility, RootGuard, RootGuard is on. They will be used on different kind of ports. So Loopguard you would use typically on your root ports, and RootGuard you put on your designated ports. You'd also put Loopguard on alternate ports. You really, because of the features, you don't mix those, right? You would not have Loopguard and RootGuard. So they're compatible just in that, you don't need to run them on the same interface, generally speaking. Also, with uplink, they're mutually exclusive functions, so there's no incompatibility, I guess I should say. Uplink fast, backbone fast, those features are compatible because they're pretty much independent functions of each other. That's not the case with port fast, and by implication BPDU guard, because by their nature, configuring port fast, you are not looking for spanning tree for BPDU packets, right? On the interface anyway. So yeah, those are not compatible features along with shared links. What it means by that, for example, multi-access link. Loopguard really is intended for non-shared links, like a point-to-point link, right? or certain logical links like Ether channel. MST is compatible with that. BPDU skew detection is compatible with that feature as well. We're going to talk a little bit more about shared links and Ether channel in a moment. Actually, we can do that now, because another important chart in this particular document is Loopguard versus unidirectional link detection feature. I've never really had this nailed down in my mind, so it's good I reviewed this today. Essentially, they have the same intention, and that is of preventing a designated port from, or preventing a blocked port from becoming a designated port because it does not receive a BPDU in a timely manner, and it's not because the port on the other end is down. It's because there is some sort of issue with the link, right? Otherwise, a loop can form. So let's say you have a wiring problem, or you have, in a lot of cases, people use udld with fiber, because you have one fiber, one of the strands is transmitting, the other strand and port is in receive mode. So you could very well have some sort of physical failure with the transmitter, with the transceiver, I should say, where it is transmitting, but it is unable to process received signals. Unidirectional link detection, right? So that can do funny things with spanning tree. What are the differences? Well, they're subtle. I will admit they are subtle. Loopguard is done, or is monitored on a per VLAN basis. So it's looking at BPDs per VLAN. udld is looking at the physical port. They both have auto recover, as I mentioned here. Protection is caused by unidirectional links. Yes, when all root and alternate ports is in a redundant topology. Yeah, and in udld, yes, when enabled all links in a redundant. Same thing, right? You need to have a good design and configuration of the links that you're using it on, right? So, protection against spanning tree protocol failures caused by problems in the software. This is one difference where Loopguard is actually better, because you may stop seeing BPDUs because there's an issue with the switch, for example. Here it mentions in detail. This is rare, by the way. So okay. In regards to STP, the most noticeable difference between the two is the absence of protection against spanning tree feature failures caused by problems in software. As a result, the designated switch does not send BPDUs. However, this type of failure, by an order of magnitude, I mentioned, more rare than failures caused by unidirectional links. So, in other words, maybe there's not a problem with the link. There's an issue with software. Loopguard has better detection of that. For example, if in the use of an Ether channel, I'm assuming this is the case because Ether channel is a virtual software function, right? So you may be getting, for example, you may be sending BPDUs to an Ether channel, and due to some problem with the software, it's not properly forwarding those BPDU frames. I said packets earlier, it's really frames, on the right physical interface. Maybe it is sending them on some of the interfaces. I don't know. I'm assuming that's what they mean by a software failure, or an issue with the router, the switch itself. Maybe it's overloaded, so it's not sending spanning tree BPDU packets or frames. That could be it doesn't really elaborate here, and I'm not really sure, but this is such a rare thing that I don't think that's a huge difference to note. To me, the main difference between udld and spanning tree protocol, and Loopguard is the issue of Ether channels, because Ether channels are used a lot in spanning tree designs and configurations, right? The difference is with udld and Loopguard is that Loopguard, if it detects or it stops receiving BPDUs, it will shut down an entire Ether channel interface. Not the case with UDLD. UDLD is specific to a physical interface, right? So it could be that you have 5 active members of an Ether channel, and one of the interfaces experiences a unidirectional link failure. In the case of Loopguard, it's very well may shut down the Ether channel. Whereas in the case of UDLD, it's just going to shut down that interface and keep the Ether channel running. So some considerations there. As it mentions here, the best thing to do, the highest level protection is provided when you enable UDLD and Loopguard. So some subtleties there, good to refer to. I enjoyed actually digging into that a little bit. This was added to the drill sheet along with, oh, hey, DeBizzle, good to have you this evening, man. Sorry, I just saw I was on a little bit of a rant there, so I just saw your chat. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I think today is the day where I'm most convinced that I need to go ahead and take the exam after 12 days and not reschedule. So that's changed my whole mindset, my whole outlook, and it's put me into battle mode. So I'm feeling pretty good. I like being in this mode. You know, part of it is just making the decision. That's like a lot of things. They say, you know, if you want to get ready for an exam, schedule that thing, you know. It's one thing to set sort of a goal in your head when you want to take it. It's one thing to say, okay, I'm preparing for an exam. But when you have a hard date, that's a motivator. And I had a hard date. I have since the last failure. But I've been kind of wishy-washy about, you know, do I want to take a little more time? Is this a little premature? And, you know, I've been wavering on that for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. Well, ever since I scheduled it. But today I think I decided, okay, hell or high water, we're going for it. 12 days. So I'm feeling good about that, actually. You think you got to get it on the back end. Gotcha, man. So, yeah, that's Loopguard, UDLD. Also today I studied the eigrp topology table codes. And what I mean by that is when you do show IP eigrp topology, there are a number of codes there, right? So I found information on that and got clarification on exactly what those mean. And I've added that also to the drill sheet. So you've got along the top, you know, you'll have P, A, U, Q, R, and it tells you what it is, right? P is passive. I didn't list that here because when you do show IP eigrp topology, hurry up and pass so we can start laughing together. I'm going to try, man. You and Show both. I'm trying to get caught up to get into the labbing phases. I miss labbing, really. I really do, because studying for the written is a whole different ballgame, you know? It's like, it's its own beast. Okay, here we go. So here's the codes. Now all these are shown here. This all depends, of course, on the hey, there's Show. There he is. So yeah, you're in this mode of the written, right? And you just want to get it done. It's a sprint, right? You want to finish your sprint and get back to labbing. So you're going to completely start the I need labbing back over. No, I don't plan to. DeBizzle, I may do some review, but I kind of want to see where Show's at when I get back to labbing. And, you know, where I left off was a little over halfway through, which was on the multicast. And so I think I may want to go back to that. But I also want to collaborate with Show so that we can sort of be in similar areas where we can compare notes and we can swap labs and things like that. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see where that goes. But yeah, these are the codes: passive, active, update, query, reply, reply status. And there's another one here too, S. Depending on, I guess, your level of code. There's SIA. There's an S for stuck and active. So we all know what passive means. That's good. We generally want to see passive. A is bad. A means that it has lost the route, and it is processing or computing. Basically, it's sending out query packets, right? Update, and as you can see here, yeah, A, computations are being performed, active. Update is pending an update packet waiting to be sent. So maybe, and these are kind of subtle cases here, I think, because let's assume that eigrp, that an interface has been done a no-shut on an interface, for example, and that interface is not configured to be a passive interface in eigrp, and it is covered as part of a network statement, or it is configured, in the case of eigrp v6, it's configured explicitly on the interface to participate in v6. So I don't know if anybody, I mean, getting an A is rare. To actually be able to see a prefix that is A is somewhat rare and not always easy to replicate in the lab. And that's from Brian McGann. He mentioned that on his video about eigrp. But update, I don't know. I guess that's eigrp is still doing computations, but an interface has come up and it is waiting to send an update packet. Maybe that's a scenario where that would be used. Same with all three of these are pending. U, Q, and R. Update, query, and then reply. So we're pending a reply packet waiting to be sent, right? This I understand. R, we've sent a query and we're awaiting a reply. But R, uppercase R, is, okay, I'm just letting y'all know, you run in show IP eigrp topology, that I know about this prefix, but I am pending to send a reply packet. So that could be, for example, that maybe someone has received, if it's not a stub area, or a stub router area, that's OSPF, sorry. If it's not a stub router, and it has received a query packet, maybe you just happen to look when it was pending to send a reply packet to that neighbor. I'm assuming that's what that is. And then R, I've sent a query to my neighbor or neighbors, and I'm still awaiting a query reply on this particular prefix. I'm not sure what the difference is there in A and R. Yeah, I'm not sure what the difference there would be. Maybe I need to research that a little more. But S is stuck inactive. In other words, I've sent queries. I've not received a query under the query timer, so I've sent an S stuck inactive query, which I learned today is another type of query. And as a matter of fact, if you don't receive a reply to your queries, and then you send stuck inactive queries, and after 6 minutes you don't receive any replies to your stuck inactive and your query packets, your stuck inactive query packets and your query packets, then it will tear down that neighbor. So there's some subtleties there. It's interesting. I've got this in here. I'm going to continue to review this, probably look at it a little bit more. Is he real? That's a hilarious show. Yes, I'm a real person. I actually have eyes. Yep, this is real. This is real networking. That's hilarious. Kids say the most wonderful things, don't they? That maybe laugh on stream. That's awesome. Laugh points. Okay, just found a link. Let's hear it, man. There's a command I could type to allow. It's going to gripe, but just ignore it, Divisional. I found out about this couple of features. Oh, post in Discord. Okay, cool. When you do that, I'm going to post it here. Yeah, let me know when you post that, Divisional. Well, yeah, that's the eigrp topology table codes, and I think it's important to distinguish, to know what they are, to know what the letters are, and to know what they mean, know what their interpretation is, right? So those are things I'm studying. I also spent some time with memorization tools today, folks. I spent a good bit of time with neckercube's flashcards. Hey, Frosthammer is on. Man, we got quite a few folks on stream tonight. That's great, man. I hope everybody's studying and labbing is going well. Yeah, so I've really been hitting the flashcards, folks. As a matter of fact, today, let me show you what I covered in Anki. And I just been going to the browse feature, and these are neckercubes. I've got them linked there. And yesterday I covered PPP and IPv6. Today, there's not a section for MSDP, but he's got cards in here for MSDP. So I went over all these cards because I was looking at SA filters, right? I've got MSDP, and we've got, and I started eigrp. And there are a lot of cards in here. I got through maybe about halfway through these today. But that's what I tend to do, is do some more drills. I also covered OTP a little bit. And yeah, I'm just going to cover the drill sheet and start hitting these different topics. And some of these that I hit, when I don't understand what in the world's going on, I just make a note and I go and study these later. I love people. I haven't seen any other... Yeah, these cards are awesome. I think they're going to be my saving grace on this next written exam. So, yeah, and the awareness of layer 3 at layer 2, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how I was reading a little bit more on that yesterday. So anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up there, folks. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to get to studying myself. I got a lot of cards to cover. NCP is boss. Control protocol. Got a lot of cards to cover and a lot of stuff to do tonight. In the next 12 days, I'm going to be pressed for time. I'm in that mode. I'm ready for battle. I'm going to put, if you see me on here with battle paint, send help. But I might do it. That's the mode I'm in right now. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, folks, in the chat. Appreciate it. Wish you the best, sending you good bits all across the interwebs. And tomorrow, I think I'm going to cover what sections I covered out of the two things out of neckercube flashcards. I've pretty much covered a lot of the written topics that I wanted to from the last written, things that I felt short on. They may take our 450, but they'll never take our packets. They'll never take our packets. Yeah, I need to get a t-shirt, right? Never take them. But yeah, I've covered all those areas, so now it's just going to be memorization. There may be a few more topics that I do a little bit of a deep dive into, but I don't anticipate doing that too much. It'll be Boson, neckercube flashcards, and the link I put out yesterday, which is the memory tables out of the official cert guides, volumes 1 and 2. That's what we're going to be doing. So thanks a lot, folks. Appreciate you hanging out. Good luck, folks, tonight. Show, I know you'll be labbing. In your 100 days of labbing, guys, check out his YouTube channel. I watched his video today. It was really good. Also, if you haven't hit that follow button yet here on Twitch, give us a follow. And if you've got an extra sub from your Amazon Prime account, you can always subscribe here. Hit that subscribe. Thanks so much for stopping in. We shall see y'all tomorrow night back here on the Land Tamer stream. Have a good night.